All right. Welcome, Ismail. Glad you could join us, Hadley, Jessica. So let's talk a little bit about game development in CodeHS. Welcome those of you that are joining right now. We have some pretty awesome options for you if you wanted to work game development into your curriculum. First of all, I'll just tell you who we are. MR is with me today. She's a professional development specialist. And my name's Don. And I was a teacher for 20 years in the classroom, working with computer science, core science subjects, robotics, stuff like that. And I used a bit of game development myself when I was in the classroom. So this is a subject that's very dear to me. And I really think it's a place where you can find your students, you can connect your students' passion with their learning and their creation. One of my big things with students is I always try to get them to create rather than just consume. And I feel like game development is a really good area for that. So what we're gonna cover in this session, I'm going to show you the course catalog, some of the options that we have, the game design resource hub, and then the three current courses that we have now: game design with JavaScript, game design in Unity, and game design in Roblox. And I'm going to give you a little overview of those three options. And then if you have some questions, you can put them in the Q&A. It's a webinar, so we don't necessarily have back and forth chat, but you can put your questions in the Q&A, and MR can either answer those questions, or if it's something that we want to discuss live during the webinar, we'll do that too, because I want to make sure that you all get all the information you can to make a good decision about which course might be the best for you and your time constraints and stuff like that. So let me move along here and give you some of the course overviews. First of all, if you want to take a look at our course catalog, you see the link on there, which we can also put into chat for you, which is codehs.com/course/catalog. We have a robust course catalog with, I don't want to say it's 60, 70 courses to choose from. Today, we're just talking about the game development and game design courses. But I encourage you to take a look through the course catalog after this webinar and see what other courses might be appealing to you. We have specialty areas, different languages, cybersecurity, different types of design, web development, coding in science, coding in math, mobile apps. We have a ton of courses, and I encourage you to look through that at your own leisure. Now, we're here today to take a closer look at game design and the curriculum specifically that we offer for that. The three courses that we have are listed on the screen right now. Game design in Unity is a year-long course. It's full 150 hours. None of these courses require any prerequisites. The students don't have to know how to code. They don't have to have any CS experience whatsoever. All of our courses take that into account and then work the students through from 0 to whatever speed they're going to go, and an incremental process. The Creating a Game in Roblox is a month-long course. It's a smaller course. I actually built that course. I'm a curriculum developer at CodeHS, and I built that course. And I'll tell you more about it in just a moment, but that is anywhere from middle school all the way up through high school. There's a lot of applications for that. And then the video game design in JavaScript is a course that builds upon our intro to JavaScript. So once students have a decent understanding of JavaScript, the video game design course is an option for teachers that want to help students take that JavaScript, learn a little more, and work that into a game design course. We have a game design hub with resources for all of these courses. We're going to put that into chat for you. It's codehs.com/game design hub. And you can go there kind of as a one-stop shop to be able to, and that's in the chat, as a one-stop shop for you to be able to check out all of these courses and go to the Learn More page and kind of get everything you need to. And as we add more game design courses in the future, which is a possibility, those things would all live in this hub, in this space. These hubs are amazing. and they're relatively new within the past year or so. So we have hubs for other topics too. So a quick course overview of video game design and JavaScript. This course is for high school. It's a one-year course, and it could be given as in lieu of the Intro to JavaScript course, because it does start from the beginning and you do learn JavaScript in this course. It could also be a second year CS course and given as an honors course for students as well. Students learn basic programming. They learn JavaScript in this course, and there's an emphasis on problem solving and being able to figure out how to fix the code and how to make the game work properly and things like that. And they'll be using JavaScript in 100% in the CodeHS editor, which is a little different than the other ones. Unity and Roblox, you use a third-party system, which is free to download, but there are certain system requirements and things like that. This course is 100% in the CodeHS environment. Again, all of these courses are for complete beginners, no background in CS, but there are some advanced topics for this one. So you could, like I said, this could be an introductory course. It could, in place of Intro to JavaScript, you could use the video game design in JavaScript as your introductory course. It could also be offered as an honors level course if that's something you wanted to do as well. These are the modules. You can find these in the course, the Learn More in the Game Design Hub. So I'm not going to go through each of these modules in lieu of the limited time that we have, and I want to make sure I cover everything that we have. But these are, it starts with Carol the dog, and students learn how to move the dog with a command and pick up a ball or put a ball down or turn, Carol the dog and stuff like that. Then it moves on to graphics and creating circles and squares and things like that. Then using projects throughout the course to build their skills, guessing game, learning how to animate and use timers to make animations happen, creating a crazy ball game, creating a breakout game, like where that paddle goes along the bottom and the ball goes up and knocks out levels, like from that classic game Breakout. They can create their own snake game, like you see them playing sometimes, maybe in your class, hopefully not. I've had kids play games in my class. I've had to shut that down in the past. They'll learn about data structures, which are collections of things in code, and then tic-tac-toe, and then the helicopter game, which is a pretty robust game that combines a lot of the concepts that came before it. And then the final project, they create their own game. It's a great course. Like I said, it's 100% in the CodeHS environment. And it could be used as the one course that you use at your school if you only have time in your schedule or in your preps for one class. You could use this. And the next one I'm going to talk about is game design in Unity. Unity it's also a one full year high school level course, and it dives a little bit into the gaming industry to a certain extent, or like what the industry is, what kind of skills are necessary. They learn a little bit about digital design and other things like that, but then they use the Unity platform. Unity is a software platform that is very, very robust. It's a larger program, and it is used to make apps. It's used to make games. It's used to render 3D games and things like that. And it's for high school students. Again, like I said, no prior technical skills, general technical skills, no prior CS experience, anything like that. It does have a little beefier tech requirements than the Roblox course does. This link here, if you're interested, this link is in the Game Design Hub, and you can check also to see if these require if your computers meet these requirements. Unity will not run on Chromebooks, so if you're using Chromebooks, you might want to look at the video game design and JavaScript course. The Roblox course will run on some Chromebooks, but it has to be a later version, and sometimes it takes the tech team adding some things to your computers to make it work. But depending on the computers you have available to the students, Unity is awesome, but it's not an easy one-click install. So if you have the technological abilities yourself to load things onto computers, or you have a solid tech team that can help you with that, Unity is amazing, but it does have certain system requirements that you'd want to look at. There are different versions of Unity. There's something called Unity Hub where those versions live. And there's a lot of long-term stable versions of it. We use the version that's on there. That number is not going to mean a lot to you, but our course would step you through how to get this onto your machine. If you know you have good machines and you have a good rapport with your tech team or tech skills yourself to be able to load things onto your computer, we step you through how to do that. And that's the version that we use for shared projects. They can be, if you end up having a newer version, projects can be opened in newer versions, but if you can't go backwards before this particular version to open things up. And like I said, there's a complete list of Unity versions that are in this Unity, archive. But if you stick with the course and you use this version that we tell you to use in the course and step you through how to add to your computers, you can load this to your computers, and it's a really pro level, high level, robust, industry standard gaming creation platform that is, it's like the highest level gaming design system that you can use, one of them. Here's some of the modules again for this. We have the a little bit about what is game design, what is the industry like, get you started and get you up and running in Unity, learn how to create worlds. Think about you always want to think about the legal and ethical implications of in the field of game design. And then similar to the last course, students will be working on a project throughout. They think about what their game is going to be. They learn how to create various effects and visuals. They learn how to use prefabricated models to create their own models, the things that would be in a game. They work on the design thinking process and design the game itself. And then they add components to it. They add mechanics. They make the characters do certain things. They learn ways to engage the user in the game. And then once their game reaches a certain point, they prototype and they test it, and then they work towards finishing their game and publishing it to the world. This, like I said, is a year-long course. It takes some time. There's a differential learning curve for different folks that would use this. But if I was still in the classroom, because when I was in the classroom, I did use Unity with the students. And CodeHS didn't have a course back then. So I had to use Unity's tutorials and learn how to do it myself, and then look up through Unity's interface to do that. But we make that a lot easier through CodeHS, where we provide you step-by-step from nothing to publishing games on the internet. And this is a really good course. It's very popular. A lot of students and teachers are using this right now. And then the third course that I wanted to talk about today is the Creating a Game in Roblox course. I'm a little partial to this because this is as a curriculum developer, this is the first course that I ever made at CodeHS. And the genesis behind it was that I play Roblox with my daughters, not every night, because sometimes they have other things to do, volleyball, basketball, homework, or whatever. But it's an online gaming platform that is free. It's free to create. It's free to play. People do spend money in there, called Robux. I should know because I, for a while, was paying my daughter's allowance in Robux. And I purposefully designed this course to be applicable for students, I'd say all the way from 5th grade up to 12th grade. And there's different ways to scaffold this. There's different levels the students can take it. Almost all your students have used Roblox at some point or another. So that's why it's got a wide range of usability, across the board for different ages. Students will learn a little bit about the Roblox platform, in a little bit about game design concepts, a little, less in depth than the Unity course would do because it's only a month-long course. but that could be extended by any number of weeks because you can have the students make their game longer or more complex. And then they create a game in the Roblox studio. So there's Roblox, that's where the games live. And there's Roblox Studio, that's where the games are created and then published to the web. And the language that's used in this course is Lua, which is a nice introductory programming language. And the students are given the code, they copy and paste the code into the code editor, and then they just gently modify the code to learn what code concepts are and what loops are and what conditionals and things like that are. So they don't have to know Lua, they don't have to know how to program. Those things are step by step introduced gently so that they understand what the code looks like and what the concepts are. It's, you know, students, this course is for students that want to create video games and learn how to code and spark their passion for coding. It's like a doorway into the world of coding through an area that the kids are passionate about. Like I said, code scripts are provided. They don't have to come up with the code on their own. They'll just have to modify it and say, okay, this platform is going to disappear. Change the code a little bit to make the platform disappear faster and see if your character can still make it across, things like that. You know, the format, like I said, there's lessons and code scripts. A lot of our courses have videos. This course primarily, there are a couple videos in the beginning, has slideshows where the students will have the CodeHS interface open and then also have Roblox Studio simultaneously open, similar to Unity, where you have CodeHS open and our instructions, and then Unity open in another window, or, you know, or at the same time. And the students can work through at their own pace, or you can lecture at your own pace through the slides and then go over to Roblox Studio and then carry out the different instructions, and you put different shapes and models in there and put checkpoints in. They're going to be creating a game called an obby. It's an obstacle course. So that's the format. You have CodeHS open and you have the third-party gaming software open, whether it's Unity or Roblox. The modules for this particular one, there's 4. There's a intro to Roblox that kind of tells you that, you know, if you look at this top picture that has all the different games in it, that's Roblox in general. It's called Roblox Client, but kids know it as Roblox. They go there. There's literally hundreds of thousands. There's like, I don't know if there's a million games, but there's hundreds of thousands of games. And most of them are free. They make their money through Robux, and people go in and spend real money to buy avatars and things like that, and game passes and cheat codes and things like that. So the creators can make money in this environment. And then the picture on the bottom is Roblox Studio. That's where you do the modeling and the game building and the stuff like that. And this walks you through how to download both. Both are absolutely free to download, and it's a really easy download. Like, it works on most computers, some Chromebooks, but not all. Almost any Mac or PC, Roblox, it's like a one-click download, and it updates automatically. Like, when the next time you open Roblox or Roblox Studio, it will just update it for you, so you don't have to deal. Once you get it downloaded and installed, you pretty much don't have to deal ever again. It's just on there. Although you might run into issues with your district, your admin, or your tech team if they restrict Roblox. That's something you need to think about ahead of time. So the intro just gets you in the world and understanding what Roblox is. Then they start building in Roblox. They'll add obstacles, they'll add checkpoints and stuff like that. They'll join together different objects, like 3 different cylinders and a rectangle on top, to build a table and learn how to model a little bit. So there's a taste of 3D CAD design in there. So they'll do some modeling and building. And then the scripting is, like I said, there are 3 scripting units or activity modules in the scripting area that they are given the script, they paste the script into Roblox Studio, they make sure it works, and then they change it a little bit. And there are a lot of vocabulary terms that are introduced in this module that help them understand what variables are and what an algorithm is and what conditionals are and loops and stuff like that. And then the customization and beyond is where you can differentiate and scaffold. If you have kids that are flying Top Gun, they can the course asks them to make 10 levels for their obstacle course. But if you have kids that are flying a Top Gun, they could make it 50. There are some obbies out there that have 700 levels. So there really isn't a limit for how complex or how long students can make this. If you have kids that are struggling, then maybe they just make it 5 levels or 6 levels. And it's a nice avenue of differentiation. And there's also a chance for you to like encourage them to have a story. Like, what's your story going to be? Is this going to, because there's different types of obstacle courses that go through different types of worlds. One thing I want to mention, if you do use this, you can make your own models. There are prefabricated models that already exist in Roblox. One thing to pay attention to though with that, and this says this in the course, if you bring in someone else's model that they created and uploaded to the Roblox area for free for you to download, sometimes the prefabricated models come with their own code scripts attached to them that may interfere with the checkpoints or the code scripts that are already in the game. So if something's not working right, that might be why. If they dragged a bunch of prefabs in my testing, I've seen that happen. That's just something to think about. So you can access the materials through that game hub that I mentioned. There's also a syllabus. There's syllabi for all 3 courses. I put this on here, but you can get to all of these through the game hub link that we've already posted for you. So I just wanted to mention that as an area. That game design hub has all of these things within. And, the syllabi has, for each course, breaks down, what's going to be covered, the objectives, and how you're going to go through that. And then the course overviews, those are all available through the game design hub as well. Some of the system and tech requirements, these as of a few months ago, these were the system requirements. And like I said, almost all PCs, all the way back to Windows 7 or Mac OS 10, Roblox will work pretty easily on those devices. They don't have to have a whole lot of processor power. They have to have a little bit, but it's a lot leaner and more streamlined of a game design environment than many of them, and it's free, which is a really nice thing. It doesn't work in Linux, and you have to have a relatively newer MacBook for Chrome OS, like version 53 or later. And you have to enable the Google Play Store. That's something that you either, if you have some pretty good tech knowledge yourself, could figure out, or you could work with your tech department and also work with your tech department or admin to see, like I said earlier, if they block Roblox. If Roblox is blocked, it can be tricky. You have to have that discussion with the powers that be to see if that's something that could be unlocked. And there's system hardware and internet requirements. These things are all listed in the course, and they're also, you can take a screenshot of this, or you can just go sign up for the course as a teacher and take a look through. These requirements are spelled out in the course as well as you in the intro section for you to make sure that your computer can handle this. You can use Roblox itself on mobile. To use the studio, you need to have a laptop, but this is for playing games. It can work on, phones, iPads, Android, Amazon Fire. It can work on all these things. That's once they've published the games to the web, and to be able to play those games in Roblox client. Because again, there's Roblox client. That's where the games live and people play. And there's Roblox Studio. That's the environment where people actually create things and then publish it to the web, and it shows up on the client. If you have any questions that haven't been answered, or if you want to discuss anything out loud, I'd be glad to do that now. And also I do want to mention that we have support. We have support whether you're a free teacher or a pro teacher. CodeHS.com/support is the link that you would go to. You can get help from us for pretty much anything that deals with what we have. And that link is in the chat. If you're just getting started, we can help you with that. We can help recommend a good course for you. If it's not game design, we have a bevy of courses for you to choose from. We're here to help you facilitate a love of computer science and to help your students change the world. Literally, that's part of our mission as a company. So we can recommend courses to help you do that. We can help you debug code if you're having an issue, getting your students enrolled. Anything, any problem you come up with, we're here to help support you with that. And if you're interested in, if you don't already have CodeHS and you're interested in bringing that to your school or your district as a whole, you can go to codehs.com/learn-more, which is also in chat. And we have, some more instructions for you in that area for you to be able to do those things. We have more resources as well. If you want to become a CodeHS certified educator, we have a program for that where you can get certified as a CodeHS certified educator. We also have, I worked on that myself before I worked at CodeHS. I used CodeHS since the company began 10 years ago. I loved it. I use it all the time. As soon as it was invented, I was like, oh, this thing was invented. I'm a computer science teacher. I'm going to use this. And it was amazing. It was only one course back then. Now we have a lot more. And there's a lot to choose from. So you can join the CodeHS Facebook group. There's educators in there that share ideas and share knowledge and things like that. Follow us on social media, whether it's Instagram or Twitter. We also have a TikTok now for really cool stuff that has to do with CodeHS. And we have a bunch of free either workshops that are either led by us or by teacher trainers. We have CodeHS teacher trainers that deliver sessions for us. And those are all things that, you can do and that you can join to get more involved in our community. And, I just lastly want to say thank you. Thank you very much for coming today. And I really appreciate your time. I hope that you have a fantastic, continue to have a fantastic start to your year. And if you have any questions, you can always go to codehs.com/support. And I can also go back to the beginning. I could say, if you have questions specific to the game development courses, you can always send me a line too. You can drop me a line, or you can go to codehs.com/support. And we're happy to help you get, to the place you want to be with your students. Helping your students learn to create rather than just consume is such an important thing. All they do is consume media. They consume, social media, they consume TV, movies, they consume video games, sometimes in my classroom or your classroom. This gives them an opportunity to find a love of computer science, making their own games in a lot of different areas. And we have more to come. Stay tuned, because we're going to have more game design options, I would guess, within the next year or two. But thanks again so much for coming. Have a fantastic rest of your year. And if you need anything else, always feel free to reach out for us. We're here to help you do what you need to do in your classroom. Yeah, Hadley, that's a great question that you just posted. Pygame is something that we're looking at. That's another option we're looking at. We're looking at expanded options for all these different things, because since we've introduced the game design courses, they've become pretty wildly popular in a pretty short amount of time. And Pygame is nice. I used Pygame some many years ago when I was teaching my introduction to CS course. And the thing about Pygame, it was a little tricky of a download. It was tricky to use in some ways. But Pygame is like MR said in her response, it's already in the sandbox, but we're working on developing curriculum so that we can work Pygame in. But it's another great avenue for the same stuff we've been talking about during this. So thanks for the good questions, Jessica, Hadley. And if anyone else has any other questions, feel free to put them in there, and we'll answer those. And awesome. Fantastic. So yeah, again, I really appreciate you coming today. I appreciate your giving these options to your students. If I was a student and I had teachers giving me these options, I'd be like, yes, my teacher is already awesome. And now I have this CodeHS course to help me learn how to make my own games. And who knows where they're going to end up someday. They might end up doing this. They might go pro in this, which is very, 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 very possible. All right. Well, probably stop the recording. And if you have any other questions, let us know. And thank you very much for coming today.